Shalom, family. This is Or Eber, author of Making Your Enemy Your Footstool, investor and consultant. So I was I was watching a video this morning. First things first. Got my test results back for my second COVID test. I am now COVID negative, so woohoo! Beat this COVID thing. It had its moments. But I know for me, what helped, hold on one second, I'm going to get y'all some of the things that I use, just a couple of things. A couple of things that I used real quick. So, y'all can see that. Oregano oil. Use that. Oregano oil is very powerful, very strong. Kills bacteria, kills germs. I use that. Zinc. Got me some zinc. No, I already had this. I always have zinc, take zinc every day, but I made sure I doubled up on that. And then, a lot of people, they suffer from brain fog when it comes to COVID. So, and these were things, if you watched my previous videos, I had already shown you all, and these are for mental clarity. St. John's wort, which also helps with back pain, for those of y'all who suffer from back pain, ashwagandha, and ginkgo biloba. So I took those, and I didn't have to worry about mental fog. I did, was going through some things. I don't know if it was from the COVID. I don't know if it was from just, life pressures right now, whatever. But I'm good now. We got past that, got the negative test. So, that's good. I'm also was doing things like boiling some water, putting orange peels, ginger, and grapefruit peels in it. Eating the oranges, the grapefruits, and then putting that in there, let it boil, put the towel over my head, steaming it up, and just inhaling it for 10-15 minutes. My smell is coming back a little bit. I could kind of smell now, not really. My taste is coming back. I could taste a little bit more than I was before, so, that's good. That's good. Now, to the video. So, I was watching a video this morning, high school football game. I don't know when the game happened. I don't know how old it is. This could have been Friday. This could have been 10 years ago. I don't know. But I was watching a football game, highlights of a football game, and there was a team from Nevada playing against a team from Arizona. So the team from Nevada was up on a team from Arizona 24-7 with 1 minute and 9 seconds left. So the team that was down 7, it's 1 minute and 9 seconds left, they actually end up winning the game 25-24. They won the game. Now, this is what I want to talk about, which is pain and using your pain. I've done a couple of videos on this before, but this is very, very, very important because right now we're in a very trying time, and a lot of people are going through a lot of pain right now. When I was watching the highlight, what had happened, the team was down. The team that was down by 7 the team that had 7 that were down. They ran a couple of plays. One of the plays, the quarterback got hurt. Like he got hit, and he was walking around and he was limping. And I don't know if the coach wanted to come get him, but he was like, nah, I'm hurt, but keep going, keep running, let's go. And after he got hurt, that's when he just took off. He's throwing these passes up the middle of the field, hitting players on the sidelines, scrambling, running, sliding for first downs. Team, they're kicking onside, getting their onside kicks back. He going out, scoring again, doing all this and that. Wind up, they ended up scoring the touchdown to make it 23-24 with 9 seconds left in the game. And they went for 2 points. They didn't go for the 1 point. They didn't go for the field goal. They didn't want to tie. They want to go overtime. Hey, we going to win or we going to lose. I like that mindset. So they went for the 2. He scrummed around. Boom, dove in. Got the 2-point conversion. They ended up winning the game. Now, it's so funny because as I was watching this, I was like, dang. Literally the turning point in the video was when the quarterback got hurt. But he never came off the field. He kept going. And then he just took off. And I started thinking back over my career. Now, some of y'all know me from high school, college, life. whatever. A lot of y'all know me. Y'all know I play sports, basketball mainly. And I started thinking back on my games and throughout my career. And I can honestly say majority of my game, this is the weirdest thing. I was also a very weird player. I'm going to admit that. But the best games I ever had was when I ended up getting hurt in the game. Those are the best games that I had. Oh, I was playing hurt. I don't know what it was, but when I was playing hurt, like I can remember off the top of my head, two of my best games in high school. Um, Both of these games I had over 30 points. One of these games, I started the game off. Now I didn't shoot any shots that time. I was a little slow. Started off a little slow, a little behind, and I ended up rolling my ankle. And I remember rolling my ankle, having to come off the court, tightening up my ankle brace that I had, because I had on the ankle brace. Tighten up my ankle brace, put my shoe back on, tighten up my shoe real tight. And I ended up missing one shot that game. I made like my first 10 shots of the game. Ended up with over 30 points, over 17 rebounds, like 5 blocks, something crazy like that. And I remember, like, I didn't think I could walk, and I just tied my shoestrings up real tight, tied my ankle brace up real tight, and I went back out there and I dropped over 30 points. Another game I played, my senior, that was my junior in high school. My senior in high school, played another game, and we were at a tournament, like a high school tournament, whatever. And the first game of the first game of the tournament that we played in, I went up and I pinned some kid's shot to the backboard. And when I pinned this shot to the backboard, because I was above him, he kept rolling. When he rolled, he caught my leg. And when I came down, he rolled over my leg. My ankle stayed, my leg stayed playing. What was that? Because he was on top of it. My body kept going something weird. I heard my ankle pop like 5 times. Like I couldn't even walk. Like I literally could not walk. Like they popped me up with some Tylenol or something. Iced it, did all this stuff. And we had a couple of hours in between that game and our next game. And our next game that we had, like I'm literally limping around the court. I could barely jump. I ended up having over 30 points. Then we played in the championship game of the tournament, and I ended up having over 30 points. We lost. I think we lost, but I was hurt, and that's how I played. And then I just started thinking about life, and I think about the greatest times in my life is when I was going through the most pain. And so many of us, we in life and we trying to avoid pain. We're trying to avoid pain. And your pain is literally what catapults you. You know what's so strange? And I'm not a famous celebrity around the world. I'm not, a rapper or a movie star, nothing like that. But one of the things that I like, people will say, let's just say some famous person there, one of their family members will die, and then they'll blow up, and people are like, oh man, that was a sacrifice. They sacrificed their best friend or their family member or their whoever, whoop-de-whoop. They sacrificed them, and look, now they got all this fame. And I was just thinking, I was like, I don't know. I'm not in that world. I'm not in that life. But what I do know is when you lose somebody close to you, that hurts. And I know a lot of people, the way that they deal with their pain is they try and go into what they love doing the most. So for instance, if you're a music artist, and now maybe they did, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in that life. But what I do know is if you're a music artist and that's what you already love to do, and then something tragic happens, like you lose a family member or a best friend that you knew since childhood, you're going to go into what it is that you love to do. And that pain is gonna take you somewhere in your mental that you ain't never been able to access before, because you're trying to get so far away from the thoughts and the incidences and the hurt that you go somewhere totally different, and it causes you to create a masterpiece. And we see this happen over again. And us normal common folk, or y'all normal common folk who do this, attribute it to it being a sacrifice, and now they they had to make the music, or they had to make the product or whatever it was, or they had to do whatever. They just go somewhere different, and I think that's what happens. And so I think one of the things we have to do is, we going through pain, and a lot of things are happening, but we got to really channel that. And if you're a person that tries to avoid pain, just embrace it. Like, yeah, it's gonna hurt. Yeah, it hurt. Like, we done all been through it. We done all we gonna lose people. We done lost people. Like I'm almost like choking up just thinking about some of the people that we gonna lose, or maybe I get lost. You never know, man. Like, anything could happen, but we gotta take that pain, channel it, ball it up, and use it to catapult us to the next level, because that's what it's for. Like, that's what that is for. Whenever we try to avoid it, whenever we try to be too much now, yes, we want to be at peace. Yes, we want to be able to enjoy some fruits and stuff like that. Yes, but you got to go through that adverse side. Like, you have to go through that in order to catapult yourself. I want to give y'all another example, man. When my oldest son was born, me and his mother weren't together, and we didn't see eye to eye on some things, and I was trying to get myself together in life or whatever, and so she felt like I wasn't doing enough. Now, she never said you not doing nothing. She just said, I don't feel like you're not. She said, she told me I didn't feel like you were doing what you could have been doing. Even though I'm like, yo, you ain't in my pockets, like I'm just whatever. So she ended up putting me on child support. Now, fast forward a little bit before I finish up the story. I'm no longer on child support for that child, so I don't want y'all, oh, he's a deadbeat. No, like I'm not on child support for that child. My son actually lives with me, so we have that. But when she put me on child support, and I'm sitting in the courtroom, and the judge told me how much I had to pay, plus I had to, take on insurance for him, and, all of this and that ended up being a total of extra $700 a month that I would have had to pay out for my son just on child support. Like, that ain't the stuff that I still wanted to do. That's just what the court said I had to give his mother for him. At the time, he was, this was my son's 8, so this was when he was first born, so he was about to turn 1 or around that age. And so at the time, I was like, dang, I wasn't making a lot of money, had bills, stuff like that. Had another child, my oldest daughter, that I still had to take care of all this and that. And the judge told me, like, I was like, man, what about my bills? And the judge was like, I don't care about your bills. And I was like, wow. And then, like, I started getting my checks, and they started being a little bit shorter. And I already wasn't the best budget of money. I didn't know how to budget, didn't know about finances, didn't know about money management, all this and that. But me going through that pain of being on child support, and that judge telling me, look, man, we don't care about what you got going on, figure it out, like, that actually helped catapult me to financial literacy, because now I had to learn, okay, I got to be able to make some money. Also, it helped catapult me into entrepreneurship, because it was like, okay, if I am making a certain amount of money, they gonna come take it. So I gotta figure out how to make money that they can't touch it, can't come take. Not trying to short the system and nothing like that, but I gotta be able to make money and pay for my bills. And I was engaged at the time to my ex-wife. I had to be able to take care of her, take care of my older child, take care of myself, take care of my son. So it was like, I had to figure this thing out. So me going through that adversity actually made me a better person, because it put me in the entrepreneur mindset. It put me in the mindset of work for myself. It put me in the mindset of really figuring out how to make extra money outside of just working for somebody else. And I tell people all the time, had I not gone through that child support situation, I don't know if I have the entrepreneur mindset that I have now, because I was like, I finally made it. Like, that's when I got my teacher position. I finally made it. I was like, okay, boom, I can kind of coast. Nah, you ain't finna coast. The universe told me, no, you're not about to coast. Like, no, we finna hit you. So that's why you have to embrace that adversity and that pain, because when you embrace that adversity and that pain, it causes you to grow. So I want you all to go heal, go build, take that adversity and the pain, grow with it. Peace and shalom.